Good evening. Welcome to South Asia Newsline. I'm Lipakshi Khurana. Here are the top stories we're tracking for you on Monday, the 18th of July. Monsoon session of Parliament begins in India. All eyes on GST Bill. Bangladesh tribunal sentences 3 to death for 1971 war crimes. And rare coins put on display at an exhibition in southern India. And now for all the details. The monsoon session of the Indian Parliament commenced on Monday with the government seeking to pass key bills. One of the crucial bills is Goods and Services Tax, or the GST Bill.
The monsoon session of the Indian Parliament began with lawmakers condemning the terror attacks that took place around the globe in recent times. Prime Minister Narendra Modi also introduced newly appointed ministers to his cabinet and council of ministers. While the opposition is likely to take on the Bharatiya Janata Party or the BJP-led government on a host of issues through the session, Prime Minister Modi sought cooperation from all the parties in forging meaningful discussions during the session.
पिछले कई दिनों से सबसे अलग-अलग बात भी हो रही है, सामूहिक बात भी हो रही है और उससे यही भाव प्रकट हो रहा है कि हर किसी का मूड अच्छे से अच्छे निर्णय करने का है, तेज गति से देश को आगे बढ़ने का है.
The government is expected to introduce over a dozen bills in the parliament during the monsoon session, but the landmark Goods and Services Tax, or the GST Bill, remains top priority. The bill, which was already passed by the lower house of the parliament, or the Lok Sabha, needs to get a nod from the upper house of the parliament, the Rajya Sabha, as well. The current session will end on August 12th.
Moving on to news from Pakistan, health sector in Gilgit-Baltistan is slipping from bad to worse. With no proper medical facilities and the government's lackadaisical approach, people in the region are finding it hard to cope.
Locals in the disputed territory of Gilgit-Baltistan are ruing over the government's indifferent attitude towards the lack of basic medical facilities in the region. Despite various promises made by the Pakistan government to provide best possible facilities, the government-run hospitals lack basic amenities, including electricity and medicines. The hospitals of the region are frequently faced with a shortage of medicines, trained staff and lack of inpatient facilities. Such shortage of health amenities adds to the woes of the people living in Gilgit-Baltistan, forcing them to consult private clinics or travel to other places, which further strains in their budgets.
ये सरकारी अस्पतालों में जो सेहत की सहूलियात न होने की वजह से जो आवाम का जो रुझान है वो प्राइवेट क्लिनिकों की तरफ है. प्राइवेट क्लिनिकों में बहुत रश होता है लेकिन सरकारी अस्पतालों में सहूलियात न होने की वजह से वेरा नज़र आ रही है. बहुत कम मरीज सरकारी अस्पतालों का विजिट कर रहे हैं. साबिक हुकूमत ने एक कानून पास किया था, गिलगित बल्तिस्तान सर्विस ट्रिब्यूनल, गिलगित बल्तिस्तान पब्लिक सर्विस कमीशन. तो वो कानून पास होने के बाद गिलगित बल्तिस्तान के जितने भी जो डॉक्टरों की खाली असामियाँ थी, जो फेडरल पब्लिक सर्विस कमीशन ने एडवर्टाइज़ नहीं किया, जिसकी वजह से गुज़श्ता 6-7 सालों से जो डॉक्टरों की खाली असामियाँ थी वो इसी तरह पड़ी हुई है.
Many locals believe that the dilapidating condition of the health sector in the region is due to the rampant corruption in the recruitment process and procurement of medicines and equipment. The people of Gilgit-Baltistan have become victims to the indifferent attitude of the government and poor governance.
Leaders and activists of the Free Balochistan movement started their long march in Germany's Dusseldorf city. They claim that the international media is unaware of the situation in Balochistan province and is being misled by Pakistan establishments. In an appeal, they called for international media and human rights organizations to take note of the atrocities being committed by Pakistan authorities in Balochistan and joined the 2-week-long march to show support and solidarity with the people of Balochistan. Baloch activists took to social media to share information about brutalities in Balochistan and support their cause. The Freedom Balochistan movement is an international campaign group that is spreading awareness about human rights violations taking place in southwestern province of Balochistan since Pakistan occupied the mineral-rich region in 1948. News from Bangladesh. Bangladesh's International Crimes Tribunal awarded death penalty to 3 Al-Badr members guilty of crimes against humanity committed during country's liberation war of 1971. A report.
The International Crimes Tribunal has found 8 men from Bangladesh's Jamalpur district guilty of crimes against humanity during the War of Independence in 1971. In a verdict released on Monday, 3 of the former Al-Badr operatives were sentenced to death and the remaining 5 to life in prison. They were charged with murder, abduction, confinement, torture and arson attacks in the district during the Liberation War. An estimated 3 million people were killed during the 9-month war, while millions were forced to seek refuge in India. Suspected war criminals were put on trial after the Awami League-led government formed the International Crimes Tribunal in 2010. Most of the war criminals allegedly belong to Jamaat-e-Islami, which openly opposed Bangladesh's independence.
Meanwhile, Bangladesh Union Home Minister Assaduzaman Khan Kamal has admitted that the police and his ministry had prior information about the recent terror attacks in the country. He stated that his ministry and police had intelligence that something might happen in Gulshan and had made all kinds of preparations for it. The deadly attack of July 1 killed 20 mostly foreigners at Hotel Artisan Cafe in Gulshan area of capital Dhaka after assailants stormed the cafe and took people hostage that lasted for 12 hours. Kamal, however, stated that the police reached the spot of Gulshan attack on July 1st within minutes because of their preparation. He also stated that the ministry knows who is behind the attacks and who supported the militants. The Dhaka cafe attack was followed by attack at country's largest congregation during the auspicious Eid al-Fitr in Kishorganj district on July 7th. Sri Lanka on Monday began formal negotiations for Free Trade Agreement or FTA with Singapore. The move is aimed at paving way for more investments and bolster trade cooperation.
Sri Lankan Prime Minister Ranil Wickremesinghe met with his Singaporean counterpart Lee Hsien Loong in the city-state. Both the leaders witnessed the signing of a joint statement formally launching FTA negotiations.
So with this free trade agreement in place, we believe that we can substantially increase our volume of exports to Singapore. At the same time, we would like to welcome the industrialists from Singapore to set up their manufacturing plants in Sri Lanka.
Singapore's Minister for Trade and Industry, S.Iswaran, added the negotiations signalled the commitment of both countries to promote stronger economic ties and enhance trade flows.
So the potential is there. I think the free trade agreement, once concluded, it will pave the way by lowering barriers to trade and by creating greater confidence for our companies to undertake investment activities. And I think that in turn will be supported by the people-to-people ties that we have between our two countries.
Wickremesinghe is on a 3-day visit to Singapore to boost bilateral relations in trade and business.
Coins have played an important role in understanding ancient Indian history. An exhibition displaying a collection of rare coins and currencies dating back centuries was organized in India's southern Karnataka province.
ancient coins and currencies were showcased at the All India Exhibition of Coins and Currencies held in Bengaluru city in southern Karnataka province. Visitors got the opportunity to see the priceless stamps and antiques dating to the Stone Age, the Mughal period and the colonial era, among others.
The coin exhibition, it happens once in a year. It's one of the most prestigious exhibitions throughout the country. And people from all over the country come here and display their coins. There are also stalls where people from all over the country come and sell coins. Depending on people's interest. So mainly our main concentration as a company is in South Indian coins. So we sell coins of Tipu Sultan, Mysore, Hyder Ali, and yeah, it's a great show.
Rare Indian coins of various denominations were also on exhibit with participation of 40 dealers and 15 collectors from across India. Young and old alike were seen admiring the collection put on display at the 3-day event.
Well, that's the way it was in South Asia this evening. Before we conclude, the top stories once again. Monsoon session of Parliament begins in India, all eyes on GST Bill. Bangladesh tribunal sentences 3 to death for 1971 war crimes. And rare coins put on display at an exhibition in southern India. Now our viewers can watch the show on SouthAsiaNewsline.com. You can also visit us on Facebook.com/SAsiaNewsline and follow us on Twitter @SAsiaNewsline. That's all in tonight's edition. We'll see you same time tomorrow. Good night.